Zhann Meyer, Head of Agricultural Finance at Nedbank CIB. I'll be attending the GTR Africa 2025, which is the premier event for African trade and the larger trade finance community. Farmers have started increasingly using satellite and technology, as well as artificial intelligence, helping them to manage risk, especially in the face of climate change and a very challenging environment, especially on the African continent. Farmers have started using more and more auto-steer tractors, satellite-driven technology, variable applications of fertilizers, insecticides, and more recently even drones to go and selectively apply insecticides and herbicides to crop. Some of those farmers are still on their farms because of the use of index-based and yield-based insurance, which is a fairly new development in terms of thinking differently about financing and agriculture. These are satellite-driven insurance policies that responds without a claim to be actually put in, or without an assessor actually coming to the farm. The people taking out these insurance policies are normally either food reserve agencies, part of the government, or they are input suppliers who want to keep the farmers on the farm for the next season. It needs to be in the interest of both parties. And that goes hand in hand in terms of bigger operations, agro-processing factories, things like soybean crushing plants, sesame dehulling plants, edible oil refineries are looking for throughput through their factories, and smallholder farmers, especially on the African continent, is that source. What we have found at Nedbank is the hub and spoke model is extremely successful in African communities where we've got a large commercial farm or agro-processor in the middle of a large area that uses, and in some cases thousands of small-scale farmers delivering product into that small scale or into the processing facility. A phenomenal achievement in a very difficult year. And I think what fuels that success is a number of factors. Now, and I think finance and technology plays a massive role in terms of getting our farmers to produce this crop for international markets. I just have to mention the biosecurity measures that the European markets have put in place on our citrus exports, and how the market reacted very quickly to make sure that this works for us and that we can still get our fruit to the market. We at Nedbank use satellite imagery, remote sensing, and index-based insurance to a large extent to mitigate risks. And I think what we have been doing is moving swiftly away from a balance sheet approach to agricultural finance to an income statement approach. So I think in terms of innovation, banks need to start looking differently at agricultural finance, especially if we want to increase our footprint into the African continent and have an inclusive approach towards food security. At Nedbank CIB, we tend to look at agricultural finance a bit differently. We integrate with various skill sets in the bank to ensure that our clients get an optimal experience towards working capital solutions as well as term funding for our clients, not only in South Africa but also on the African continent, to ensure sustainable solutions and food security for our people.